My name is Roseline Orwa. I'm the director and founder of the Rona Foundation. I am a widow, 14 years in widowhood. I became a widow at the age of 32. I intimately understand and know what widows go through that I did not know when I was married. From the cultural practices, harmful traditional practices, from the discrimination, from the stigma, from the ostracization. And widows are largely a group of women ignored by formal and informal structures of governance. Earlier, and we have had a discussion even with the Fourth Estate before, is that nothing is for us without us. One of the things that I discovered when we were realizing that our numbers are grown, as Rona Foundation had grown to 10,000 widows in terms of groups and network. And there was no support system. There was no social support, economic support, legal support, no framework within the county government under the Pollution Acts that was supporting widows. We looked around and looked at the existing laws from the national, and earlier in the year I was part of the International Widows Lobbying Group that brought home the UN Widowhood Resolution. That international tool, policy tool, required governments, county governments, national governments, corporates, philanthropists, to enact laws and frameworks and interventions that are targeting widows. When we looked at Siaya County, the number of widows now stands in the population and census at about 54,000. I believe that number is more because the data doesn't exist. The county doesn't even have the right data. So this bill will ensure there's the right data of those widows. The second thing, if the data doesn't exist, then there is also no framework for supporting that target group. So the bill we have now, Siaya Widows Protection Bill, cannot go on its own. It has to run with a policy. We have had a full, almost 3 years working on the bill. The bill has 4 tenets. What it is addressing all the cultural, social, and all the neglected issues around widowhood, around food security, around the burden of orphan care, around legal rights, and what the county will do. What the county will do are 3 things. One, the county will have to enact through the county assembly, and we have widow legislators elected there. 2, the county will implement. How will it implement? It will set a directorate of widowed persons, and widowed persons includes widowers. 3, the county will put a budget that are aware, and we already put the policy and the bill under the 5-year integrated budget plans for the county. So we already covered all the loopholes that they would say, oh, we did not plan for it. We already did that in the past years. 3, the county will have to create what is called county and widowhood committees, so that when widows have disinheritance, land conflicts, other social issues that affect them at the grassroots level, the way Rona has been representing and supporting them, those committees, the way they have for climate change and other programs, will be able to respond to the gender and issues that come to the widows. So those are the mandates of the county. They are required to set a department, they are required to put resources to it, and they are required, the bill allows them to even fundraise for a widow's fund. Because without a law, those things cannot happen. So this law is going to free them to do the thing that which they ought to do for the widow. And the widow also is supposed to understand this bill, and you saw they are also how they are, showing how what affects them through their plays. It is not always that only educated women can advance their rights. To me, the widows doing theater, the children that played poetry and themes today, did the bigger work. When our own children are now saying, these are the plight of our mothers. Today, our children took the podium to defend and speak to our plight. And I think that Siaya stands, and the Minister of Education, the CSO Amoyo, and the Directorate of Education Siaya has stood with us to say, let's put the children at the center of change as we nurture their talent. We have great hope, the team that has been behind this, all the elected women MCS, we have had roundtables, male MCS, we have had gatherings. This weekend we have another gathering with the governor. We've had individual meetings with the widows and the governor, and we believe we've gathered enough support. I believe anybody who lives in Siaya County who will stand in front of this bill is the one that is abusing women and widows. This is a landmark bill. This is what is called progressive policy. speaking to, it's correcting a sin of omission. There are widows who died in the hand of abusers, right in our communities. This bill will honor their memory and honor the losses they incurred and correct the years and years, generations and generations of abuse that widowed women have gone through. This is the bill to support in Siaya County.
Kama vile mwenzangu ameshaongelelea, event ya leo ilikuwa juu ya mwanamke mjane. Zile mikakati tunapitia wakati tumefiwa na waume zetu. Sisi huwa tunateswa sana baada ya kifo cha waume zetu. Tunanyang'anywa haki yetu, watoto wapati haki yao ya kusoma, mashamba pia tupati. Kwa mfano kama bibi nilikuwa tuna ile land imekuwa block ya familia. Sasa nipate ile haki yangu kulingana na jina langu mimi, inakuwa ni shida. Wale wameweka misingi zingine ambazo hata mimi siwezi kupata haki yangu kusaidia watoto, ile watoto wangu wanaweza kupata haki yao kwa kujenga nini. Sasa mimi nakaa tu hapo, wanajua mimi sina mahali pa kuendelea ile naweza kupata haki yangu. Na kwa sasa hii tumeshaingia, Mama Rosi ametufanya tukajua mengi juu ya haki zetu. Sasa hii naweza kuongea, naweza hata kwenda kwa ofisi ile ya sheria inaongelelea juu ya mjane nisikike. Wanatetea wajane wapate haki yao. Sasa hii hata nikienda pale nikisema shemegi yangu alikuwa ananilazimisha kufanya kitu fulani, wana haki ya kumuita huyo shemegi wamuongelele. Ni kama nimezidi sana inaweza kufungwa. Napata haki yangu. Hiyo sheria kwa assembly tunangojea tu ipitishwe. Japokuwa huku nyuma tuna shida huku kwa machifu wetu au viongozi. Wakishajua kuwa wewe una kitu, mjane hana kitu mkononi, mfano pesa, na hao wengine wana pesa, ukienda huku wanakuitisha pesa, inafanya hata ile ndoto zako haiwezi kufika vile unatarajia. Hiyo ndio shida, na ndio tunataka hiyo ikipitishwa tunajua tutakuwa na sauti zaidi.
Eunice Chiengdono, MCA South Sakwa. I say I'm a widow, and I know right now we are expecting a bill that is supposed to come, and we are ready to pass the bill. Now we are just waiting for the bill to come.
My name is Plight-Luo. I'm the advocate in the consulting council with Rona Foundation with regards to the policy draft and the bill being Siaya County Widows Protection Bill 2022. So first and foremost, we are now at the tail end of compiling the policy and fine-tuning also the bill, and in not more than 2 weeks we expect to forward the bill now for official consideration by the County Assembly. So the salient features of the bill: in the bill we have anchored a directorate that will be responsible for ensuring that all the plights of the widows within the county are first and foremost considered, be it in the area of health, be it in the area of education, be it in the area of social protection, and all other aspects in line with Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya. So among the other salient features are the award fund and the award administration that will be responsible for, of course, ensuring that the right information is collected through the local administration and ensuring that we have a clear data of all the widows who are deserving to be considered for the gains that we will ensure that they have within this bill. Among the issues we have that will be addressed in the bill are the issues of health, we'll have the issues of agriculture, which in our view will be more streamlined, for the reason being that we'll have a clear directorate that will be responsible for ensuring that all aspects or all matters touching on the widows, their rights and their social welfare are protected within the bill. So I kindly urge all stakeholders to come and forward and support, and to ensure that when the bill will be forwarded, it will garner the full support to ensure that it goes on. I believe that this will be a landmark, of course, a landmark decision that our county assembly will be applauded for having passed such a legislation. So we expect much from it.
As a county government, and especially the government that has a docket on gender and social services, we have a very big role in ensuring that the widows are protected from the manipulation of the people in the society after they have lost their loved ones. You remember we had protection of widow rights in Siaya County via memo adoption of widow charter to protect widow rights in Siaya County 2021, 13th of May. And the idea was to draft a bill that would usher in the plights of women in the society, and it is our feeling that all of us should come together to address the plight of women. I particularly request Honorable Eunice Plight-Luo, who is the MCA for the area, to mobilize fellow MCAs when this document is being discussed in the Assembly. We have the bill which has been done by both the county government and not the bill, but the draft that has been done by both Rona and the county government under the good leadership of our lawyer, Mr. Char, and we believe that if we all work together, the plight of our women will be reduced, if not totally eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, we must understand where we are coming from as a society, where the rule of a man was an iron rule, and when the man died, sometimes the man left a woman isolated from the relatives. And sometimes, because at that time, even today, there are those who don't write wills. So a man dies, leave a woman with children at the mercy of the hostile community we have around. When we were watching the various presentations that were given to us, you saw how a woman is being manipulated. They even buy the inheritance that sometimes we consider to be uncivilized, and they use a lot of money that has been left behind. They use that money in taking care of those who are taking money from them unfairly. Therefore, we say that our widows must be protected. And I want to thank the Rona organization for this wonderful organization to expose the ills that we have in the society that require all of us, whether they are the same widows, men, and all, even our children. Because when a widow is suffering, who else is suffering? A widow has a child. The child will be an orphan. The child will be suffering. I want to extend a hand also to the widowers. And I want to challenge them to also come up with an organization like this one, so that we don't just have a suffering woman in the society, but we also think about men who have lost their wives, and sometimes they cannot even take care of the children behind.
Kwa majina na
Born free we all are. Application we never made. From God's solidus we all come. Support a widow, support an orphan. A widow has a mind to think beyond her environs. A widow has legs to walk beyond vicinity. A widow has energy to care for more than a home. Support a widow, support an orphan. Respect this vulnerable but tender-hearted being. Despise not this unprivileged but strong-willed person. Doctor, do not neglect her. Pastor, do not misjudge her. The society, give her a chance. The politician, incorporate her. Support a widow, support an orphan. Engineering is not too scary for her. Social work is not too difficult for her. Motivational speaking is not news to her. Moral behavior is not too much a threat to her. Support a widow,